The only reason you want it is because you cannot have it. Think about that for a second. The value of an object is not in its utility. It is in its unavailability. If diamonds were as common as pebbles on a sidewalk, you would step on them without a second thought. But because they are hidden, gated, and controlled, you are willing to spend 3 months of your salary to own one. This is the ultimate manipulation of the human psyche. We do not value what is useful. We value what is rare. The legendary author Robert Greene understands this power dynamic perfectly. In his deep analysis of human nature, he suggests that what is withdrawn becomes mysterious and brilliant. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, but more importantly, it makes the price go higher. When something is held back from you, your imagination fills in the gaps with perfection. You begin to believe that the missing piece is the only thing standing between you and true happiness. The strategist Sun Tzu also hinted at this mindset in his ancient texts. He discussed making the enemy believe you have resources you do not, or hiding what you do have to create a sense of desperation. He said that all warfare is based on deception. And make no mistake, the battle for your wallet and your attention is a physical and psychological war. They want you to feel the hunger. They want you to feel the void. If you are starting to realize that your desires are being manufactured by people who benefit from your feelings of inadequacy, then you belong with us. We are building a community of 100,000 elite minds. This is not a community of followers. It is a movement for the intellectually sovereign. We are here to dismantle the illusions that govern your life. Join us to see through the smoke. Subscribe to join. Think about the last time you stood in a line or refreshed a website at midnight. Was it for the product, or was it for the relief of not losing out? In the United States, this is the engine of the drop culture. Why do people spend 10 hours waiting for a pair of sneakers that cost $20 to manufacture? It is not for the leather or the rubber. It is for the feeling of being one of the few who made it. They are selling you the sensation of being special, and they do it by artificially limiting the supply. But wait, before you think this is just about sneakers and diamonds, consider this. What if I told you that this same mechanism is being used to control who you marry, what you believe, and even how you perceive your own survival? Stay with me, because the rabbit hole goes much deeper than the shopping mall. When a brand tells you there are only 100 units available, they are not giving you information. They are giving you anxiety. They are triggering a primal fear that you will be left behind while the rest of the tribe moves forward. When your brain perceives a shortage, your ability to think logically shuts down. You stop asking if you need the item, and you start asking how you can get it before someone else does. This is a biological hijack. If you have ever felt that sudden heartbeat when you see a low stock warning, like this video, it is the first step to breaking the spell. The philosopher Jean Baudrillard discussed this in his work on consumer society. He noted that we no longer consume products. We consume signs. We buy things to signal our status to others. If everyone has it, it no longer signals anything. Therefore, the system must create artificial limits to keep the hierarchy alive. They make sure that there is always something just out of reach. Another profound writer, Aldous Huxley, warned about a world where people are controlled by their own manufactured desires. He suggested that in a society of abundance, the only way to maintain control is to make people feel like they are constantly on the verge of losing something. If you are comfortable, you are dangerous to the system. If you are hungry and desperate, you are predictable. Now, imagine a scenario where the air you breathe or the water you drink is suddenly labeled as premium and limited. It sounds impossible, but as we move further into this script, I will show you how the elite are already preparing to gate the most basic human necessities using this exact psychological trick. Comment below, what is the most useless thing you bought, just because it was a limited edition? Let us expose the game together. In the United States, the luxury real estate and car industries are masters of this game. They do not sell you a house. They sell you an exclusive gated community. They do not sell you a car. They sell you a one-of-one build. They are selling you the idea that you are better than your neighbor because you have access to something they do not. This is a psychological cage that keeps you working, spending, and running on a treadmill that has no end. The elite minds do not chase what is rare. They understand why it is being called rare. They understand that the masses are driven by the fear of being ordinary. By controlling the supply of status, the top 1% control the behavior of the entire population. The 99% are trapped in a constant state of wanting, never realizing that the lack they feel is an artificial construct. Share this video with one person who is obsessed with the latest trends. It is time they understood the strings being pulled behind their back. Consider the history of the diamond industry. Before the late 1930s, engagement rings were not a global standard. A massive corporation launched a campaign that linked the size of a diamond to the depth of a man's love. They created a slogan that said, "A diamond is forever." They manufactured a tradition out of thin air. They used the fear of being seen as cheap and the emotional appeal of eternal romance to create a necessity for a rock that is not actually rare in nature. They control the vaults, they control the supply, and therefore, they control your emotions. But diamonds are just stones. What happens when this logic is applied to information? What happens when the truth itself is hidden behind a paywall or a limited access clearance? You are about to find out how the gatekeepers of knowledge use the illusion of secrecy to make you believe lies. This is how your reality is constructed. You are told what to want and what to fear. Your subconscious mind is a garden, and if you are not planting your own seeds, someone else is planting theirs. Their seeds are designed to produce a harvest that benefits them, not you. They want you to stay in a state of FOMO, the fear of missing out, because that fear makes you move faster than your brain can think. The world is full of limited time offers that have been running for years. There are closing down sales that never end. There are VIP memberships that are open to anyone with a credit card. These are all masks. Behind the mask is a simple truth. If they can make you feel like the door is closing, you will run through it without asking where it leads. Let us discuss the Veblen effect. Named after the economist Thorstein Veblen, this describes a phenomenon where the demand for a good increases as the price increases. Why? Because the high price itself creates a barrier. It creates a scarcity of access. People in the USA do not buy a $5,000 handbag because it holds their keys better than a $20 bag. They buy it because most people cannot. They are purchasing a limited reality. But here is the twist you did not see coming. The people at the very top, the true architects, do not own these symbols. They own the companies that sell them to you. They are the only ones who are truly free because they do not define their worth by what is scarce. They define their worth by what they control. The United States economy is built on the concept of the hedonic treadmill. You buy the rare item, you feel a spike of dopamine. And then, within 48 hours, the item becomes normal. It becomes common to you. To get that feeling back, you must find the next rare thing. The system is designed to ensure you are never satisfied. Satisfaction is the enemy of profit. The psychologist Leon Festinger spoke about social comparison theory. He argued that we determine our own social and personal worth based on how we stack up against others. When you own something scarce, you feel higher in the comparison. The architects use this biological drive to keep you in a state of perpetual competition with your peers. While you are busy fighting your neighbor for the latest limited drop, the people in power are consolidating their grip on the world. If you think this is exhausting, you are right. But there is a way to exit the treadmill. There is a way to become immune to the sold-out sign. And I am going to reveal that secret in the final moments of this discussion. Do not turn away because your freedom depends on it. We must also look at digital scarcity. In recent years, the world was introduced to digital assets that were proven to be limited by code. This was a masterclass in psychological engineering. They took something that can be copied infinitely, a digital image, and used math to tell you it was rare. Thousands of people lost their life savings chasing a digital ghost. Why? Because the fear of being left out of the next big thing was more powerful than their common sense. This is the power of the crowd. When the crowd moves, the individual stops thinking. Gustave Le Bon, in his seminal work, The Crowd, stated that an individual in a crowd loses their ability to reason and becomes a puppet to the collective impulse. Scarcity is the whistle that calls the crowd to stampede. Most people will finish this and immediately go check their notifications for the next deal. They will see a countdown timer on a website and feel their heart rate increase. They will continue to let corporate boardrooms dictate their sense of worth. They will stay asleep in a dream of possessions. But you have stayed until the end because you have felt the friction. You have realized that the most valuable real estate on earth is not in Manhattan or Silicon Valley. It is the 6 inches between your ears, and everyone is fighting for a piece of it. You have realized that your attention is the most precious resource you possess, and you are tired of giving it away for free to people who do not have your best interests at heart. You are starting to realize that the ultimate scarcity is not a diamond or a luxury car. The ultimate scarcity is a focused, independent mind. In a world of 8 billion people who are being told what to think, a person who can think for themselves is the rarest thing on the planet. This is the final secret. The only way to win the game is to stop playing. When you stop valuing what they tell you is rare, their power over you vanishes instantly. You become a ghost in their machine. You become untouchable. We are not here to give you answers. We are here to give you the lens, to see the questions. We are building a legacy of clarity in an age of manufactured chaos. We are stripping away the layers of influence until only the raw truth remains. This is a journey that requires courage because once you see the truth, you can never go back to the comfort of the lie. You can never go back to being a passive observer in your own life. The world is designed to keep you asleep. We are the alarm clock. We are the voice in the dark, reminding you that you have a choice. We are the signal in the noise. The door to true understanding is always narrow, and few find it. You are here because you are looking for that door. We are not just building a community. We are building an ironclad mindset that can survive the coming age of manipulation. Subscribe to join the elite who see the world for what it truly is. Do not just follow the script they wrote for you. Write your own.